Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on yet another episode of the Import Export Advisory Series. Now, this is episode number 23, and this marks a new chapter in the history of BizBrains. We have been extremely lucky to have been partnering with the Indian Institute of Material Management chapter of Ahmedabad. They have graciously accepted to partner with us and be a part of our guiding team that will help us with MOOWR and AEO kind of schemes to make sure that we go in the right direction with our business. Joining us today is an exclusive guest from IIM Ahmedabad chapter, Mr. Deepak Goswami, who will give us a little more insight about what happens at IIMM Ahmedabad. Welcome, sir. I request you to speak a few words about IIMM and let us know how you see this collaboration going forward.
Good evening. Welcome all. First of all, our sincere thanks to BizBrains, especially to Ms. Minal Mehta Butch for organizing this podcast. Ms. Minal is a life member of IIMM and has a very long and active association with IIMM. She is also a faculty for the IIMM and conducting academic programs for the benefits of the members. We are happy to get associated with BizBrains. Our association with BizBrains through Ms. Butch would give a synergy to our joint endeavor to share knowledge in this highly specialized field. Now, a few words about IIMM. Indian Institute of Materials Management is a national apex body representing a wide spectrum of professionals engaged in various facets of supply chain management. Various functions including planning, materials management, sourcing, and logistics. The institute is a chartered member of International Federation of Purchasing and Supply Management, known as IFPSM, Atlanta, USA. It was incorporated in Switzerland, which has its members in 44 countries. IIM has a wide network of more than 50 branches and 20 chapters across India, having over 11,000 members. The Ahmedabad branch is having more than 500 members of they are all drawn from around 200 organizations located in and around Ahmedabad. The institute is conducting various academic courses, postgraduate diploma course in supply chain management, as well as another course in materials management are very popular amongst the professionals from this field. The institute has its Center for Advanced Management Studies at Mumbai and Center for Research in Materials Management at Kolkata, which is engaged to promote research in materials management and also collaborate with industry for furthering the professional advancement of materials management and its applications. We aim at exchanging knowledge and skill across the industry profile. As a core activity of the institute, we regularly arrange seminars and talks on various topics for the overall professional growth of the members. We have a full-fledged training cell for imparting industrial trainings to increase the professional skill of our fraternity. That's all today about IIMM. Now, over to BizBrains. Please continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for telling us what IIMM does. So, Parth, welcome.
Thank you, Chaitanya.
Yet another session. I'm not going to pick your brains on the IP of what can happen with MOOWR, but today it's a different topic. Now, we have been looking at a lot of growth in terms of FDI, FTAs, the terms on which free trade agreements are all happening. Now, tell me a little about, or maybe a 40,000 view of what FDI in India looks like today.
Though I'm not an expert on FDI, but today India and the government of India is eyeing a lot on foreign direct investments. The government are making strenuous efforts to bring a lot of investments in India, foreign investments in terms of foreign currencies in India, and do various activities in terms of manufacturing, in terms of service, in terms of technologies, in terms of trading, various in terms of hospitality. You name any sector and there is FDI, there is investments of any foreign party or foreign government also being in India. So India, for me, uh, has as India has a very attractive policy as of today. It has, in terms of top 50 countries, India is ranking 40th for being an attractive position for FDI. Also, in terms of innovation, the India is globally ranking in say 30th, 38th position or somewhere nearby, where India has a very innovative kind of policies, technologies, insights, the talents with respect to technologies and all. So yes, very important uh, aspect to discuss. Also, very uh, uh, revenue generating aspects with respect to manufacturers in India. We have seen a year or so, the not we but the government data very clearly this shows that it has the FDI is going on year to year on a very well manner, and the major investors of or the major source of FDIs is in terms of countries are the US, UK, Singapore, Taiwan, and various other countries, Mauritius as well. So these are the few major countries who have very good faith on India. Uh, Other aspects that government has made the policies so liberal that they are even allowing investments of up to or the FDIs up to 100% in specific sectors. Uh, Also, manufacturing of various sensitive items like satellite and its parts. So government is very aggressive in terms of FDIs being coming to India. Um, how can we uh, take the best advantage of these policies, and how can we, as the people of India, attract the FDIs, or across the globe we share our knowledge that India being a major FDI friendly country, it entirely depends on us, and we must definitely strive for that. That FDIs do keep on coming in India, and the FDIs do flourish the people of India.
Okay, super. Now, how is MOOWR going to be an accelerator to bring more FDI into India?
Yes. Uh, as we have been discussing more for almost more than 10 episodes or the 10 podcasts, but every time, as you yourself see, that every time a new aspect comes out from MOOWR, that how can it help uh, various sectors of manufacturing or service or technology, various other things. Uh, with respect to FDI, just to brief about what MOOWR is, rather than going into the details, uh, MOOWR is a scheme wherein any party can import machineries and raw materials in India without payment of duties. As of today, the duties also include the IGST, the applicable GST. Then, after importing these machineries or raw materials, you have to do the manufacturing process or the operations on this raw materials with the help of imported raw materials or domestic procured raw materials, with the help of the imported capital goods or the machineries. Then you can sell out these raw materials or the finished goods or the intermediate products to the domestic market with payment of duties only on the portion of raw materials which is being imported and used in those finished goods. Also, you can export those finished goods or the intermediate goods by filing appropriate shipping bills and without payment of any duty or any IGST or any interest or any penalty applicable on those imported raw materials, without even following or without any specific constraint of filing other documents or registrations or bank guarantees with respect to this exports and imports of the raw materials or capital goods. The very key requirements or the key intention of the government here is that they want to boost the manufacturing in India. Also, the scheme has been devised in such a way that the government intention or the government's revenue part is not getting suffered or is not falling, not coming into a loss for the government. So they have devised insurance scheme in the regulations itself that in case something happens, then you need to pay this insurance. Then you need to you did not worry about the duties. The government did not worry about the duties, and then the government can recover that portion of duties from the insurance policy. Also, the government has mandated to give or procure a solvency certificate from the manufacturers who are setting up this unit and availing license of MOOWR, so that the government doesn't or the department doesn't give license to any party who is not capable enough to pay duty amount or such so and so duty. So the government has also made sure that all this policy benefits are being given to the correct appropriate parties and not just any random person. As just we discussed in the other last podcast, that this scheme comes with a very flexible timelines. There is no, rather you can say there is no timelines applicable to this process. Earlier there was so as of today as well, there are policies like advanced license, EPCG license, wherein you have to import raw materials or capital goods, do manufacturing process within certain timelines. Also, you have to fulfill their obligations in terms of value addition or 6 times the duty saved amount if it is under EPCG license. So this scheme in any process or this scheme here doesn't give any compliance burden on the manufacturers, and the manufacturers can very well focus on the process of manufacturing and the business they have set up. Second very important part here is that, as we discussed in the last episode, was the manufacturing process here is such that in other schemes you have to declare the entire manufacturing process along with the inputs and outputs norms. In for example, if you want to manufacture a water bottle, then that quality of water bottle requires X quantum of imported raw materials and Y quantum of domestic raw materials. Then you will have to give the entire process of manufacturing, the quantums, the quality, and all those details. And then only the government allows you to get the benefit of duty-free imports. That is not the case with MOOWR. Here, you just share that whatever finished goods you are making or whatever imported raw materials you are procuring, they adhere to the import policy and the export policy. That's it. There is no required quantum or quality or detailed material specification of imports or domestic procurement. Also, there is no specific output related compliance that this is what the minimum quantum of output you have to make, or you have to export, or you have to generate from the manufacturing process. So this is a very, very flexible kind of scheme in terms of timelines, in terms of manufacturing process, in terms of uh, savings as well. Because since you are importing the raw materials or capital goods, or any spare parts, or any uh, uh, accessories with respect to this capital goods, or anything with respect to your manufacturing process of import of raw materials or capital goods, or the allied activities within this process. For all that, there is no specific uh, requirement or obligations or timelines, and you can just import without worrying anything about the duties or raw materials, or duties or IGSTs or credits or ITCs or anything. You just have to import it, do the manufacturing, and export it back. Coming back to the technology sector, uh, as you are very much aware that the world is coming, or in this specific sector of technology, the world is eyeing at global value chain, wherein there are various processes being sourced at various regions. Similarly, just like if you see, Apple and Samsung are have already expanded their manufacturing uh, base in India, and they're manufacturing more and more of mobile phones in India. So this scheme is very, very, very helpful to industries, wherein they can manufacture some specific portion of raw materials, or specific part of the finished goods in India. They can do the job work here. They can do the manufacturing process here and export it back to some X country or Y country, do the assembling, and sell it off. Even they can do the assembling process here in India and cater to the domestic market. This is also a part. This is also one of the opportunity which is being explored in India by various manufacturers. That India also itself has a very big technology market in terms of mobile phones and parts, semiconductors being coming up. So all these options, most of what I've seen, uh, this industry is one or the other way. This scheme is very, very beneficial to them, and then it also gives them various flexibilities, uh, that if you want to explore other benefits or options under this scheme, like IGCR benefits and FTA, PTA benefits, and all that, those all schemes can also be clubbed with this very MOOWR scheme. Recently, few months back, the mobile phones also have additional benefit under IGCR. There is a specific government process wherein you can import raw materials or parts with payment of lesser or concessional duty or import duties. So that specific scheme can also be clubbed with the MOOWR scheme, and you can very well avail benefits, very well avail various other benefits which are given to that specific sector or the specific product, and simultaneously also uh, avail the benefits under the MOOWR scheme. Second, very important process here, very important thing here is that you, as I said, that you did not disclose the entire detailed manufacturing process. So that is a very key sector whereby you need not disclose all these processes or patents or your manufacturing secrets or trade secrets into the government, that how are you manufacturing this, or how are you coming to this specific output, what is the ratio, or what are the processes being involved for getting the specific output. It always stays with the manufacturer itself. So that is also a very beautiful aspects under this scheme, whereby your trade secrets, your intentions remains with you. So it is very important. You must have bona fide intentions for this process. But this entire in this entire process of not disclosing manufacturing traits, or not disclosing the patents or the trade secrets, is a very key aspects in the MOOWR scheme. What happens is, so in other schemes, as I said, what happens is that you need to disclose each and every aspect very discreetly, very in detail. Here, if you get saved with this process of not disclosing it with the government, until unless there is any specific requirement under different laws, that you will have to disclose this XYZ aspect, then this becomes a very important understanding, or a lucrative understanding for the investors, that even the monies are invested very safely in India in terms of RBI policies. Their technology is invested here in India, and it always remains in the safe hands or with the investors itself. So these are various important aspects under the MOOWR scheme. Also, under the MOOWR scheme, the Customs Department doesn't harass you with the second-hand machineries, because it is not just that all the machineries which are being imported are new. It even happens that the old and second-hand machineries which are in good condition, that can also come down to India. Under the MOOWR scheme, you also get the benefit to import this second-hand machineries without payment of duties, do the manufacturing process as is being done under the MOOWR scheme, and get the maximum or do the maximum optimized utilization of this machineries. So that is also a very important aspect here, and very basic or very key aspect is the working capital. Whoever invests in India, the working capital to the tune of 28% or even higher, based on the customs duties and the IGSTs and all. So that quantum of duties get saved, and you can invest further into the labor or into the other sectors and all. Second important, so a very very important benefit here is that under this scheme you can also merge the benefits of your trading products and the manufacturing items as well. That it's not so that you cannot do the trading of various other products within your manufacturing facility. If you import any raw materials and you want to trade it off, looking at the market scenario, then you also can do that. It is not only restricted to the manufacturing process. Within period of 90 days, you can import and sell it off in the domestic market. That also is an additional benefit in the MOOWR scheme. So these are the few key criteria. I think that it will be very helpful to the foreign direct investors, or any other person who is eyeing to invest in India, can avail this benefit and get the maximum or most optimized utilization of this scheme, and get maximum rewards and results under this.
Super. Awesome. As again, very informative. I would love to get, or maybe I would love to expand on each one of these things, but again, we have a limited time session. Thank you so much for this. I think one day we will have to speak about this 28% reduction in, import duty, or 28% of your working capital becoming available for your manufacturing. This is a huge amount, and it certainly is a game changer. All your competitors are still grappling with that amount, and you have this amount available, and this can be used for various things. And I'm sure this also increases your profit margin, right? So I think we'll have to do one session on how we kind of break this down and see the numbers, so people understand the benefit of this.
Absolutely. Just want to close this with a small example wherein a company in India into FMCG manufacturing got their investments from Singapore for expansions, and they were to import some X quantum of machineries. Availing this scheme for various units across India, they thought of investing more, reinvesting the quantum of amount what they have saved with more numbers of machines and get a higher or more quantum of production. So this is how they try to avail the benefit of MOOWR scheme, directly linked through FDI.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. So, Parth, thank you so much for yet another knowledgeable session. Dear audience, as you know, this is our landmark session with the IIMM Ahmedabad chapter joining hands, taking the onus of using their might to make sure that MOOWR goes farther and wider. Mr. Deepak, would you want to add any closing remarks, sir?
It was really insightful, and I hope that the listeners would get benefited out of it. Thank you very much for organizing such a valuable session. Thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Dear audience, we will come back to you with yet another episode of Import Export Advisory next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Until then, stay tuned and have a great time. We will see you next week, 5 p.m. Tuesday again. Bye, Parth. You have a lovely day.
Goodbye. Thank you. See
Goodbye.
you again
Yes.
next week.
Sir, Mr. Deepak, thank you so much for joining in again. Have a lovely week ahead.
Thanks again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye.